Welcome back, and you are watching Tribe Talk. I'm your host, Nicole Jones-Harper, and today on Tribe Talk, we bring you one of Kendrick High School's most dominant forces on the mat. Senior standout RIVERIA competes at 144 pounds and is a two-time city champion known for his relentless intensity, undefeated runs, and championship mindset. His impact helped lead Kendrick Wrestling to a first-place finish at the 30th Annual City Championship, earning respect across Columbus and beyond. This is an athlete who sets the tone, raises the standard, and represents what it means to be number one. His record stands at 24-0. Let's get to it. RJ, thank you so much for stopping by. And thank you he had to take the time to do this segment. We did not plan for it, but he was available, so I'm so glad that you were able to make it.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. It feels good.
Awesome. So what does a day look like for RJ?
So usually I wake up in the morning pretty early. I try to get ready pretty early, and it depends on the day, but I try to at least get a little stretching in, get the mobility in, because wrestling's definitely a little bit of a bodily taxing sport. But, I just try to stay ready, have my breakfast, just have a good plan set for the day. And then pretty much out the door by, 8-something, get here to school and just ready to work.
How do you balance wrestling and schoolwork? Being a scholar athlete just seems tough, but, how do you do that?
It's definitely pretty tough. I mean, I've had my struggles pretty hard. Like, definitely when I first started, I didn't really know how to balance. I'd maybe wrestle too much one day and I'd be behind on assignments the other, but it's kind of just, setting up your time right. Some days, you might have to do an assignment before practice, or you might have to do it after practice. You just got to kind of sacrifice some things sometimes, and it's just, part of it.
So you're also the Ledger Enquirer's Athlete of the Week. How does that make you feel?
Pretty good. I mean, I won it last year as well, and it just feels really good to have support of a school, Like, when I first came here, people didn't think this would be a really good place for me, but I thought opposite, Most people wanted me to go to other schools, like Harris County, Columbus, all that stuff, and I was like, it sounded cool in the moment, but at the same time, I had the mindset of wrestling's just wrestling, wherever I go, I have a good team, I know, because that sport just creates people like that, and it's just, it felt good when I came here and then just had the support from the people and helped just improve overall.
Amazing. So what does your routine and rituals look like before a match? Do you listen to a particular song, or what is that like?
So the music aspect, a lot of my teammates do, and I know a lot of people who do it as well, but I've always just been one. I might listen to music recently. I've been doing it kind of just before the matches, like on the bus ride there. But at the tournament, usually I just kind of got into the mindset of I want to take everything in, hear all the noises, hear all the people in the bleachers, kind of thing. And some people think that's distracting, but to me, it kind of just gets me ready in the moment, gets rid of them butterflies, just hearing all the people, all the crowds, knowing there's a lot of people there watching me wrestle. And I just perform my best when I know that, I'm just in the moment.
I like your take on that, because I was on Instagram and I saw, I follow a lot of D1 kind of quotes and inspiration. And this one said, if you got your phone before a game or match, you've already lost. So I like your mentality, your take on that. What is your go-to takedown move on the mat?
So I'm a big kind of outside guy. So for my wrestlers, I like a lot of drags, kind of you touch me, I'm kind of just going to misdirect you, kind of get your hands off of me. I'm a really slick guy. I'm more technical. I mean, I could say I'm pretty strong, but I definitely wouldn't say I'm like the Hulk out there. I just keep it simple, slick, and get to my stuff.
What is your proudest moment in wrestling so far?
So my proudest moment definitely would probably be when I won my first city championship title, because when I first got here to Georgia, I wasn't sure how the wrestling would go here. People in Florida were telling me oh, the wrestling over here is not that good, you're not going to improve that much, you might, things might happen, especially coming off an injury as well from hurting my ankle. I didn't know how I was going to wrestle, but just, me being me, I wrestled the whole off season, whole summer, just getting that work in, getting my body healthy again. And when City came around, I had a few losses, I think 2 that year. Had a good record still, but, just had losses, and you always think about those. But I went into City with a good mindset and, ended up winning it all. And it felt good just having that first title, knowing I can win and compete with those guys.
Now, a lot of people may argue with me, but I feel like wrestling is one of the sports that take the most strength. Because, once you're pinned down, the amount of upper body strength that it seems like that you would have to be conditioned to endure to get out of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty tough. Like, I'd say upper body, a bit of everything, like, because we got to get on our neck sometimes, you know, a guy's on top of us, you know, we got to try to get on our neck and turn. But it all depends. I mean, each sport has their own aspect. Like, I never put one sport down over the other, but I just feel in my mindset, wrestling is pretty tough. You got to be pretty tough to do wrestling, especially on the body. You know, some people might not like it, but this is one of the few sports that you have to make a weight class, and I've always struggled with that and still do, I guess, in my senior year. But I've learned that, like you said, everything's balanced. You know, I got to have a routine. You know, diet has to be perfect. People see how disciplined I am, and they think it's a little bit of an obsession, which it might be, but sometimes you got to be obsessed to do, you know, good things.
That's right. That's right. So tell everyone, what are your plans after high school? Because you're on your victory lap right now.
Yeah, it's my last year, you know. I mean, for right now, the goal is just to stay focused, you know, get that state title, just take everything day by day. Undefeated or not, it feels good to be undefeated, but that's not really what matters. What matters is when February comes around in the state tournament and you just win that title. But after high school, you know, it's not a for sure yet, but it's pretty almost for certain. You know, it just depends on where life takes me. But right now I'm thinking of going to college at Andrew. I might have other options, you know, it might take a year. It depends just what colleges offer me, you know. But right now Andrew's like my top pick. And I plan to maybe wrestle in college and, you know, be a physical therapist, you know, and just continue, you know, just every aspect of my life, just doing it hard, doing it good, and just kind of how I wrestle is how I'm going to go through life, you know. That's the one of the few sports is wrestling that kind of teaches you aspects in life that once you're done with wrestling, you're still going to be a good person. Like, wrestling's not about being like a super good athlete or being like this, you know, tough guy or anything like that. It's about trying to be a good person and trying to like leave the mat with something, you know, more than when you first went out on it, you know.
Awesome. Well, when is the next time that we can catch you on the mat?
Oh, this Saturday, actually, we have area duels, which is we're hoping to at least place top 2 so we can go as a team-to-team state and, you know, turn some heads, you know, make some names and just, you know, do good.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we are certainly proud of you here at Kendrick High School and Columbus, Georgia as a whole. Tell everybody before we go, where can we follow you?
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram at RJNoble1, and that's about it. I'm not a big social media guy, but whatever support I can get, I'll try to, you know, stay with you guys. I always try and stay in touch, you know, never leave past anybody, you know, always just try to stay close with my friends and everybody that I know. And I'm thankful for all the support you guys give me, and I hope you can keep supporting me.
Well, thank you guys so much for checking in. Make sure you share and like and support us here. We are broadcasting from Kendrick High School. Until next time, see you later. Thank you for joining us.